Have you ever met one of those people who just seem to have this lucky energy? Like the rules don't apply to them. They have this magic touch and they can just get what they want in their lives, no matter the apparent circumstance or limitation. These people are tapped into what I call the invincibility frequency. This is a very high state of consciousness where they know the power of their energy, maybe unconsciously or consciously. And because they're prioritizing their state and their energy, they're able to manipulate the things around them to fall in line with that. Here's the thing. You cannot keep obeying reality and expect reality to obey you. So you're either prioritizing the physical world and circumstances around you, or you're prioritizing yourself and your state and your energy. How you begin tapping into the frequency of invincibility, and you create a frequency so strong that reality has to obey you, is you start prioritizing your energy over the material world. So your frequency, your state of consciousness, your energy, whatever you want to call it, it can essentially either be an invincibility cloak against external reality. So the lower vibrational stuff that doesn't resonate with you can't touch you. Or it can be a magnet to the stuff that you don't want. You're the one who gets to decide that. And this is the power that your energy has. So I'm going to break down today a little bit about consciousness and your frequency, and then we're going to get into how you can actually generate a frequency that is essentially invincible against the lower dimensional things that you might be resisting, such as lack, limitation, fear-based ideas, and circumstances that you simply do not prefer. So technically, reality is already obeying you, but you're just unconscious of the energy that you're putting out that's manipulating the circumstances in the material world. Let me just break down to you what's happening. So you exist basically in a sea of infinite possibilities. This circle represents the entire universe. Yes, I know obviously it's not an accurate representation, but believe it or not, this is the entire universe for this example. So we basically exist in a field of infinite information and energy. And what we're perceiving physically with our five senses is less than 1%. That's kind of backwards. Less than 1% of what actually exists. So we see this in quantum mechanics. They call this the unified field. It's backed up by science. In Kabbalah, they call it, it's like beyond the veil. There's a 99% of unseen energies, right? And so essentially, we are having a very, very temporary, illusory experience that's based on our senses. So we're in these physical bodies having these experiences, but it's just one of many, many, many possibilities in the field of everything that exists. So everything in the universe is basically existing as different states, different forms of consciousness. You here having this experience, you're operating in a particular state of consciousness, and that is what's attracting and resonating certain possibilities with you rather than other possibilities. I want you to really start thinking about this reality, this universe, as kind of just like this blank matrix, and you're existing in a certain area depending on the energetic frequency, the energetic identity that you are emitting. So you're always emitting this kind of frequency to the universe, and that is what's aligning circumstances, people, events, perceptions, intuitions, ideas with you. And if you think about somebody who has that kind of lucky energy, who just always gets what they want, they get everything handed to them, they always have things work out, what is the difference between you and them? Maybe they have different circumstances, but if you downloaded their consciousness into your body, you would have things work out in the same way that they do. So your physical body and your physical circumstances have nothing to do with it. It is all about your energy. It is all about your frequency. And if you want to move from a reality where you're experiencing a lot of lack, a lot of limitation, a lot of frustration, a lot of unwanted events and circumstances, then you have to move your energy first. And then the material world around you will shift to reflect that. The most important thing that you start getting into your head to start making reality obey you rather than the other way around is you have to really be intentional